"Our son is gone," the wife sobbed. Then a detective leaned in, revealing the shocking truth. "To our incredible viewers at Cheating Tales Lab, where in the world are you tuning in from? We can't wait to know. Share your thoughts. Let's plunge into today's tale." Chapter 1. A father's nightmare. Gabriel Hunter returned home, 30 minutes late, to what should have been his son Nathan's joyous 6th birthday party, only to be met with an unsettling silence instead of laughter and cake-smeared faces. He stepped into a moment that would forever scar him, reshaping him into a figure his foes would come to dread. Vanessa Cole's family crowded the living room, their presence heavy with unspoken tension. Antonio Ramirez reigned like a king, while Nina Delgado captured every moment on her phone, a wicked smile on her face. Yet, it was the vision at the heart of the room that froze Leonardo's very soul. Nathan, just 6, knelt on the cold hardwood, tears flowing as he devoured birthday cake from Rex's metal dog bowl. The child's tiny hands trembled, cake disintegrating in his grip as he struggled to eat without utensils. Creatures feast upon the ground. Carmen's laughter echoed, a thunderous, beer-soaked roar that filled the room. "Fits you perfectly, doesn't it, boy? Watch him soar." Letitia's laughter echoed as she focused her phone camera, capturing the moment. Perhaps a collar for him next year would be fitting. Family members, cousins, aunts, uncles laughed, their faces contorted with a harsh delight. Yet, it was Vanessa Cole's response that broke something deep within Leonardo's heart. His wife of 8 years stood there, arms crossed, silent, neither laughing nor intervening. Her expression held a chilling satisfaction, as if this humiliation was a fitting fate. Nathan's gaze flickered up, catching a glimpse of his father framed in the doorway. The child's fleeting hope vanished, swallowed by shame as he turned back to his bowl. "Daddy's home," Vanessa Cole announced, her voice laced with a brittle brightness. "Hey, sweetheart." Nathan's finally picking up some manners. They believed it would curb his relentless demands. Leonardo's military training surged within him, the steady calm that had preserved his life through 3 harrowing tours in Afghanistan. He scanned the room, a battlefield of memories, marking each face, each soul complicit in his son's torment. His fury simmered like molten lava, yet his face betrayed nothing. "Interesting party," he murmured, his fingers deftly sliding over his phone as he began to record, unseen, deeply enlightening. Carmen's belch erupted, echoing through the silence. The kid had to understand his role. He's been acting like a prince, making demands that are too much to bear. "Yeah," Letitia added, the camera rolling, capturing every moment. Vanessa Cole recounted his explosive outburst, longing for a real party like the other kids had. This is the consequence of indulgence. Leonardo knelt beside his son, his voice a soft whisper of love. "Hey, go wash your hands and face now." That night, Leonardo sat alone in his home office, eyes glued to the haunting video he'd captured. The casual cruelty, the orchestrated humiliation, the betrayal by his own wife. It all unfolded in stark clarity. As he examined the footage, something else caught his eye. Damian Kessler, Rosalind's colleague, shadows the scene, an unsettling presence in the periphery. The man appeared more often now, always slipping in while Leonardo was away on business. Leonardo opened his laptop, diving into research with the precision of a seasoned operative. Calls, posts, transactions. He held the keys to it all. What he discovered turned the birthday humiliation into mere prelude. Santiago and Rosalind met in secret for 8 months, their connection deepening with each encounter. Hotel receipts, restaurant charges, and a jewelry purchase that Leonardo had never seen his wife wear, all whispering secrets of betrayal. Yet, the text messages he unearthed from Rosalind's cloud backup were far more incriminating. Whispers of Nathan as a barrier, the child deemed broken, better off lost in the shadows. The last message, arriving mere hours before the party, chilled Leonardo to the bone. "Ensure the little brat understands his position today. Perhaps his father will finally recognize the weight he carries." Leonardo shut the laptop, his heart racing as he approached the gun safe. He retrieved the Sig Sauer P226, the weight of memories from Afghanistan heavy in his hands. He inspected the weapon, loaded the magazine, and placed it beside a bottle of bourbon on his desk. For 3 hours, he lingered in the shadows, grappling with thoughts that would have terrified the man he once was. As the first light broke, his choice was clear. Gabriel Hunter, the devoted husband, the compassionate father, the man of second chances, took his last breath as he watched his son devour birthday cake from a dog bowl. From that office came a threat far more perilous. A man stripped of everything, armed with the skills to make his enemies suffer for every second of his son's disgrace. Chapter 2. After dropping Nathan at school, Leonardo drove to Ericsson Security Solutions, the weight of the day pressing down on him. His firm offered elite security consulting to the affluent, but it masked a darker purpose, one that drew on his unique expertise in military intelligence and covert operations. Elliot Shaw glanced up, eyes wide, as he stepped inside. "You're here ahead of time." Nathan's party was unforgettable. Educational, Leonardo echoed the very word from yesterday. "Gene, I need you to clear my schedule for next week. It's urgent. Inform our clients that I'm performing an in-depth security assessment." Which client are we talking about? A journey of the heart. Gene had served him for 4 years, and he understood the danger of questioning that tone. She caught fleeting glimpses of the man hidden beneath the businessman facade. The icy resolve that surfaced when anything threatened what he held dear in his secluded office. Leonardo engaged the soundproofing and started dialing. First, there was Reed Dalton, a former Delta Force operator turned head of discreet investigation services. "Leo, how can I help you? I'm seeking a thorough investigation into Damian Kessler and the Sanchez family. All of it. Money, love, flaws, hidden truths, methods know no bounds. This feels intimate. It is everything. How fast can you go? I need 48 hours for the preliminary report. A week to plunge into the depths. Time is slipping away, just 24 hours to make it all count. Money means nothing." The second call connected to Wyatt Rhodes, a former military intelligence specialist who had once aided Leonardo in delicate operations. "I require surveillance gear set up in my house. Complete audio and video documentation. Utterly invisible. Require oversight on various cell phones and email accounts. When is this due? Today, as my wife works away. It's as good as accomplished." The third call held everything in its grasp. Noah Steele, a former Navy SEAL turned private military contractor. "Leo, it's been too long. What's happening? A team must be ready at a moment's notice. Silent, skilled, no inquiries made. A familiar mission, now with everything on the line. How intimate. My son was hurt. Many lives intertwined." Silence hung heavy in the air. Mikkel was a father. "What are the mission details?" "Complete annihilation of the targets. Both mind and body. No lasting damage at first. Yet I crave their downfall." "Absolutely. Got it. When do we leave?" "I'll keep you posted. But Mikkel, once this starts, there's no turning back. None spared. Never forgive. Boundless. Understood. We will be prepared." By noon, Dustin's team had covertly set up military-grade surveillance gear all over Leonardo's home. Pinhead-sized cameras, audio pickups sensing whispers from 50 feet, and network tabs capturing every digital exchange. Leonardo rushed home for lunch, driven by a nagging urgency to retrieve what he'd left behind. He secretly placed more devices in Vanessa Cole's car, her purse, and her jewelry box. One sneeze, and he'd be aware. That evening, he embodied the worried husband flawlessly. "How was your day, love?" he inquired while Vanessa Cole focused on the meal. "All right." "Overwhelming. The party yesterday overwhelmed Nathan. He looked troubled this morning." Leonardo's voice was flat, yet the weight of his words hung heavy in the air. "Can't imagine why. It left an indelible mark. My family aimed to instill a sense of humility in him. He's been indulged far too much lately." Leonardo watched his wife glide through the kitchen, the wine glass trembling in his hand. After 8 years, the truth about her finally pierced through the fog. "How's everything at work?" Time slips away in the shadows of the Santiago project. Vanessa Cole's hand hesitated for a heartbeat as she sliced through the vegetables. It consumes my every moment. He's relentless. He must be. As darkness enveloped the room, Leonardo sat alone, eyes fixed on the laptop, replaying the day's haunting footage while Vanessa Cole slept peacefully nearby. 17 calls to Santiago. One conversation that pierced through the silence. Planning a meeting while Nathan was at school and Leonardo was away on business. The tension thickened. It was the last conversation that determined Vanessa Cole's destiny. Letitia's voice echoed in her mind, sealing Leonardo's fate with every word they exchanged. Vanessa Cole declared the birthday celebration flawless. Did you see the shattered look in his eyes? Santiago believes that with enough pressure, Leo will see the kid's true burden. What's the final move? Letitia had inquired. Santiago knows people in the foster system. There are methods to erase a child from sight, particularly when doubts linger about the father's sanity. What about Leo? Once Nathan's gone, Leo will either submit or eliminate him as well. Santiago has been here before. Leonardo was done listening. He shut the laptop, moved to Nathan's room, and lingered in the doorway, eyes fixed on his sleeping son. The child was Leonardo's sole light in a dark world. Naive, hopeful, bursting with promise. They sought to ruin him, all for their selfish ease. Leonardo stepped into his office, heart racing, and activated a secure communication channel. The message he sent was concise, yet packed with meaning. Operation Golden Shield has commenced. Every target is a threat. Engagement protocols. Escalation unleashed. Responses flooded in from his team in mere minutes. Understood. Let the battle begin. Chapter 3. Reed Dalton's preliminary report arrived 18 hours later, revealing a darkness that consumed Leonardo's thoughts. Damien Kessler was a man consumed by betrayal. He was a predator, his dark legacy stretching over 20 years. The report unveiled Santiago's haunting pattern. Prey on married mothers, ensnare them, twist their hearts until they turn their children against their fathers, then orchestrate their kids' placement in foster care through a web of corrupt social workers. The children vanished into a web where Santiago and his associates preyed on the most vulnerable. 7 families shattered. 12 children disappeared into the shadows of foster care. Their fathers silenced or erased. Santiago's web entangled family court judges, child protective services workers, and police officers, all ready to fabricate reports when the moment called for it. The financial evidence was utterly damning. Santiago profited from the darkest of deeds, selling innocent lives to the highest bidder. The birthday humiliation cut deep, a wound that lingered long after the day ended. It was shaping him, readying Nathan for a destiny more harrowing than death itself. Leonardo read the report twice, his military discipline clashing with a father's fury. In the end, fury triumphed. He urgently summoned his team to a hidden spot, an old warehouse long forgotten, where they once honed their skills. Mikkel Sims stepped in first, then came Reed Dalton, with Wyatt Rhodes trailing close behind. The 3 men had fought alongside Leonardo, and they knew that look all too well. Gentlemen, Leonardo started, what I'm about to reveal will transform everything we do. This has become something far deeper than revenge. It's about stopping the cycle of pain. He revealed Santiago's dark empire, the web of deceit, the innocent lives shattered. Silence enveloped the room, heavy with unspoken truths. Jesus Christ, Bruce whispered, his voice heavy with disbelief. How many children? At least 12 confirmed, maybe even more. My son was destined to be the 13th. Michael's knuckles popped, a sharp sound slicing through the silence. What's the strategy? Complete network collapse. The Sanchez family begins our story, the fragile thread in this tapestry. Leverage them to reach Santiago and his web. We climb the hierarchy, ensuring each player is taken out. How was it neutralized? Dustin inquired. Forever, if needed. For years, corruption and intimidation have shielded these individuals. They believe they're invincible. Leonardo's smile pierced like a winter's chill. They will soon discover the truth. That evening, Leonardo unleashed his plan. He informed Vanessa Cole of an urgent trip to Denver, a chance for her to finally encounter Santiago. I'll be gone for 3 days, he said, his hands moving through the bag with a practiced ease. "Are you sure you'll be all right with Nathan?" "Absolutely. My father had plans to take him fishing this weekend. I need a moment to get back on track with my work." "That feels wonderful. Nathan cherishes every moment with your family." Vanessa Cole spun her lie with such ease that Leonardo found himself almost captivated by her talent. So close. Leonardo kissed his son goodbye, then drove to the airport, but the flight never took off. He gathered his team at a hidden safe house, eyes glued to the screens, tracking every heartbeat of their targets in the shadows. In mere hours, the traps snapped shut. Antonio Ramirez's heart raced as a voice on the line claimed to be an IRS investigator, announcing that his disability payments were under scrutiny for fraud. The caller, Bruce masked by a voice modifier, set an appointment for the next morning at a phantom government building. Letitia received a message from a modeling agency. They had seen her Instagram photos and wanted to talk about a contract. The address brought her to a vacant studio, where hidden cameras awaited to capture her moment of despair as she understood the betrayal. The climax unfolded at the Riverside Hotel, where Santiago faced Vanessa Cole. Unbeknownst to them, Dustin had swapped the regular cleaning crew for his own, secretly embedding recording devices in their familiar space. Leonardo stared at the feed from his command center, capturing each word, each gesture, each detail of their treachery. He was unearthing truths that could shatter everything. He delved into their minds, uncovering their flaws, ready to strike at every tender spot. Phase 1 done. He warned his team, eyes fixed on Santiago and Vanessa Cole as they schemed to take Nathan from Leonardo. "Tomorrow, we unleash the storm that I want them to experience despair, uncertainty, and fear. I need them to grasp the emotions my son experienced while eating from that bowl." Then Mikel asked, and Leonardo's face turned icy, as if blood had stopped flowing. "Then, we serve them a humiliation so bitter, it lingers for a lifetime. We ensure they can never harm another child again." Old Gabriel Hunter once held fast to justice, trusting the system, obeying rules, and honoring authority. Yet that man took his last breath amidst the joy of his son's birthday celebration. A weapon forged from desperation, armed with endless resources and honed skills, with nothing to hold back. The battle for Nathan's destiny was on the brink of eruption. Chapter 4: Mind Games. At dawn, Leonardo's campaign ignited with razor-sharp focus. As his targets slumbered, lulled by their false sense of security, his team methodically tore apart their empire, one fragment at a time. Antonio Ramirez awoke to slashed tires and a mailbox crammed with ominous papers demanding $47,000 in back taxes. The documents were flawlessly forged, with case numbers that would pass any scrutiny if anyone dared to look. Letitia awoke to the shocking realization that her identity had been stolen in the dead of night. Credit cards maxed from phantom purchases, bank accounts frozen in a web of deceit, and social media turned into a weapon, posting humiliating content that threatened to shatter her life. Santiago's torment ran deeper, a complex web of anguish. He stepped into his office, only to be met by a swarm of FBI agents, their presence heavy with the weight of a routine investigation into financial irregularities. The agents existed. Bruce leveraged every connection he had, but Santiago stood alone in the shadows. They were probing the secrets of the company next door. Hours of confusion engulfed Santiago, his employees and clients witnessing his sweat and panic unfold. Leonardo watched intently from his command center, shifting strategies with the precision of a general in the heat of battle. Every move crafted to unleash relentless psychological strain, all while erasing any link to his existence. Phase 2 begins, he whispered to Mikel through the secure line. "Confront Rosalind at her job." Rosalind coordinated at St. Catherine's Elementary, ironically shielding children from the very predator to whom she was entrusting her own son. Leonardo's scheme for her was a chilling masterpiece of cruelty. Dustin breached the school's computer system, leaving behind damning evidence that accused Rosalind of embezzling from the Student Activities Fund. The evidence was a masterful illusion, artfully constructed yet entirely false, as the principal uncovered the discrepancies. Rosalind faced the looming threat of an investigation by the school board and law enforcement. Then came the true brilliance. Nathan called his mother at lunch. "Mommy, the police are here at school, asking about you. They questioned whether you ever introduced odd men into my life." The call, arranged by Leonardo via a contact at Child Protective Services, plunged Rosalind into a whirlwind of panic. She sprinted to Nathan's school, heart pounding, only to confront a bewildered principal and an absence of police, leaving her in a whirlwind of fear and confusion. "Mrs. Erickson, are you okay? Your pain is palpable." Doubt about Rosalind's mental stability took root in the mind of a close confidant, someone who worked intimately with children. A future promise, rich with potential, waiting to unfold. Meanwhile, Santiago faced his mounting troubles. His car was gone, seized for tickets that had inexplicably surfaced in the system overnight. An anonymous tip about suspicious activities in his unit prompted his apartment building's management to conduct an inspection. Nothing was found, but a paper trail emerged, hinting at an investigation looming over him. His connections in the foster care system were suddenly targeted by a federal task force probing into child trafficking. The calls were illusions, yet they silenced Santiago's network, severing his link to the corruption that fueled his scheme. By evening, all three primary targets were engulfed in sheer panic. Leonardo observed through his surveillance network as they frantically dialed, their desperation palpable, seeking answers to the unseen threat looming over them. The moment arrived as Rosalind dialed Santiago, her voice trembling with terror. "Someone is onto us. All that matters. The school suspect's embezzlement. CPS accuses me of abusing Nathan, and my family is crumbling." "Calm down," Santiago urged. Yet, Leonardo sensed the tension in his voice. It might just be a twist of fate. Fate's cruel twist. "This is fate. We are being targeted, and it's intentional." "Who is it?" "Leonardo. In Denver, he lacks the grit for this kind of challenge. So who is it?" Santiago fell silent, the weight of the moment heavy in the air. "If we're being hunted, we must act fast. Place Nathan in the system this week, not next month." "This week? Santiago, I just can't." "You can. You will. When the child is lost and your husband falls from grace, everything fades into silence. Believe in me." Leonardo was done listening. He triggered the emergency comms, sending urgent, encrypted messages to his entire team. Time rushes forward. Plans to strike Nathan are set for the next 72 hours. Operation Golden Shield reaches its climax. Nothing holds back now. The gloves came off. Chapter 5. The trap springs. Leonardo struck back at Santiago with ruthless speed, leaving no room for mercy. If they dared to challenge Nathan in the next 72 hours, he would unleash a battle they could never anticipate. He zeroed in on the most vulnerable, Antonio Ramirez. The old man drowned his sorrows in drink after stumbling upon the forged tax papers, and Leonardo's team exploited that weakness ruthlessly. Mikkel and Dustin trailed Carmen to his usual bar, blending in as casual patrons. They ignited discussions on government overreach and the corruption lurking within the system. "You seem burdened," Mikkel said, settling onto the bar stool beside Carmen. "The damn IRS is out to take everything I've built," Carmen slurred. $47,000, they claim I owe. Utter nonsense. Dustin chimed in, echoing Carmen's side. My brother-in-law faced the same fate. His ex-wife's deceit cut deep. False reports, a twisted vendetta. Do you have any foes who could do something like that? Carmen's mind, clouded by drink, seized the idea with desperate urgency. My daughter's husband, the military boy, acts like he's above us all. His treatment of that bratty kid always rubbed me the wrong way. What have you done to the child? Carmen's laughter was sharp, laced with bitterness as she recounted Nathan's birthday, each word dripping with humiliation, unaware that Mikkel captured it all. As Carmen's tale unfolded, he laid bare his soul, confessions of child abuse, a conspiracy of deceit, and the chilling truth of Santiago's scheme to send Nathan away. The recording shone brilliantly, yet Leonardo craved something deeper. It seems this soldier is gunning for you, Mikkel said. Perhaps it's time to take the lead on this. Report his treatment of the child to CPS. Guard your heart, understand? Carmen's eyes sparkled with dark intent. Sure, that's clever. Reveal the true essence of his fatherhood. The following morning, Antonio Ramirez stormed into the Department of Children and Family Services, filing a complaint against Leonardo. She claimed he was psychologically tormenting Nathan and demanded the child be taken from the home at once. Carmen had no idea that the social worker, Georgia Sawyer, was in fact one of Bruce's insiders, fully aware of the unfolding drama. She captured Carmen's words, documented every detail, and submitted a report that would ignite an investigation, but not the one Carmen had anticipated. Rather than probing into Leonardo, DCFS turned its focus to Carmen, scrutinizing her past with children, armed with the chilling confession captured in the bar. In mere hours, Carmen faced a harrowing investigation for child abuse, his disability benefits frozen in the chilling uncertainty that followed. Letitia's ruin was born from her own pride. Haunted by her identity theft and the shame that followed, she seized the chance when a top modeling agency reached out with a lucrative photo shoot offer. The agency was a sham orchestrated by Dustin's crew, yet the proposal was too tempting to refuse. $5,000 for just one day, with the chance to reach millions through national ads. Letitia stepped into the studio, a mere warehouse for Leonardo's tactical training, her heart racing with the hope of being treated like a star. Instead, she was thrust into a haunting replay of Nathan's birthday party. "Welcome to your audition," the imposter whispered. "We're searching for talent for a commercial that explores humility and understanding one's role in society. Show us how deeply you can embody submission." The scene mirrored Nathan's torment. A cold metal bowl on the floor, food to be devoured barehanded, and cameras capturing every agonizing second. Letitia had a choice unlike Nathan. "I won't eat from a bowl like some animal," she exclaimed, her voice laced with indignation. "Fail to deliver, and your audition video will circulate among every agency in the city, exposing your lack of professionalism." Letitia scanned the room, her heart racing at the sight of the professional gear, the seemingly real contracts, and the cash they had promised her. Her credit cards lay maxed out, accounts frozen, and desperation clawed at her for cash. Only this time, Leonardo observed from his command center as Letitia knelt on the cold concrete, tears of humiliation flowing as she ate from the bowl. Every angle was seized in vivid detail, each moment of her downfall etched in time. Unlike Nathan's birthday party, this humiliation had a deeper, darker intent. As Letitia languished in the warehouse, Bruce's team ransacked her apartment, carefully planting evidence to ensnare her in Santiago's dark web of child trafficking. Subtle yet devastating, the evidence cut deep. Burner phones linked to traffickers, cash deposits mirroring Santiago's payments, and, most importantly, haunting photos of children caught in the web of his foster care scheme. Letitia completed her audition, unaware that the marked bills in her pocket linked her irrevocably to Santiago's dark world. "What are your emotions right now? Are you really going?" the fake photographer asked, a hint of desperation in her voice. Letitia, tears streaming down her face, finally confessed her humiliation. "Excellent. Now you understand the thrill of a 6-year-old on his birthday." The revelation struck her, a visceral jolt that left her breathless. Leonardo. It was all Leonardo. This was retribution. This is only the start. Chapter 6, the net closes. Damien Kessler ruled his criminal empire, convinced he was the sharpest mind in the room. He twisted feelings, preyed on vulnerabilities, and always remained 3 steps ahead of looming dangers. But he had never encountered a rival like Gabriel Hunter. A single phone call ignited the relentless dismantling of his entire network. "Mr. Cunningham? Agent Michelle Savage here, FBI's Crimes Against Children Unit. We need to arrange an interview about your connection to the missing persons cases." Santiago felt a chill seize his veins. "I believe a mistake has occurred. I know nothing of the vanished. Sir, we possess financial records that connect you to payments for arranging the placement of minors in foster care. Your cooperation in this matter is crucial." The call was undeniable. Bruce reached out to the FBI, unveiling evidence that ignited a real federal investigation. Unbeknownst to Santiago, every step he took was under watchful eyes, his words captured, his paths to freedom erased one by one in mere hours after the FBI reached out. Santiago's criminal empire started to collapse, each member receiving the same ominous calls. Corrupt social workers, bribed judges, trafficking facilitators, each one now ensnared in a federal investigation, their dark secrets unraveling. Yet, the true horror for Santiago unfolded the moment he attempted to escape. His passport was marked, bank accounts seized, and credit cards vanished without a trace. As he attempted to book a flight abroad, a polite voice shattered his plans. He was on the no-fly list, an investigation looming over him. Desperation clawed at Santiago as he finally made the call Leonardo had long anticipated. That he reached out to Rosalind, insisting they meet at once to devise their escape. Santiago's voice was urgent as he met her in their familiar hotel room. "We have to grab the kid and run. The FBI is on our heels, and time is slipping away. Seize Nathan. Santiago, that's abduction. It's a battle for family custody. The paperwork is ready, don't forget. Your father reported the abuse, and my contact at DCFS will expedite the removal order." Unbeknownst to them, their intimate exchange echoed through a room packed with FBI agents, local police, and prosecutors, each listening intently. Dustin's surveillance turned their meeting into a raw confession. "This is insane," Rosalind exclaimed, her footsteps quick and frantic across the hotel room. "Let's vanish. Escape this place. Where's the cash? Everything is frozen in time. Running away isn't an option. Leaving the kid means he'll spill everything. He carries the weight of secrets, shadows haunting his every thought." "What do you mean?" Santiago's mask shattered at last. "The kid's a loose end, and it's time to tie it up. Forever." The words lingered, heavy and foreboding. In the FBI listening room, agents shared tense glances, the weight of their discovery heavy in the air. They weren't just uncovering fraud and corruption. They were racing against time to stop a murder. Leonardo, watching from his command center, sensed a chilling finality grip his chest. Santiago's chilling words echoed through the wiretap, a dark promise aimed at his own son. The gloves were gone, reduced to ashes. "Every team, this is deceit." Leonardo's voice crackled through the encrypted system, invoking memories of his past as he used his old military call sign. "Threat confirmed. Lethal intent aimed at primary asset. Permission granted for critical action." Mikkel's reply was instant. "Understood, deceitful. Intervention is a go. On the verge of action." But Leonardo held one last card, a final move before his team struck. He dialed Santiago's number, urgency in every ring. "Hey Santiago, I see you've been struggling a bit recently." Santiago's voice trembled, choked by fear. "Leonardo, where did you find this number? Where are you now?" "I'm all around you, Santiago. Your every move, your every word. I've seen it all. I know the depths of your vile operation. Did you honestly believe you could threaten my son and escape unscathed? I have no idea what you mean." "The party, Santiago. Forcing my 6-year-old son to eat from a bowl like a dog while you and my wife's family laughed stung deep. Plotting to take him from me and hand him over to monsters. And now talking about his murder as if it's just another transaction." The silence screamed between us. At last, Santiago discovered his voice. "Nothing can be proven. I owe you nothing, Santiago. Your confession is being recorded by federal agents as we speak. Your crimes are captured on video, your trafficking network laid bare in financial records, and your victims are ready to speak. But what truly matters is that I bring you a challenge unlike any you've encountered." "What is that?" "A father stripped of everything, armed with the skills to obliterate you utterly." Silence swallowed the connection. In the hotel room, Santiago's heart raced as he stared at his phone, the weight of his predicament crashing down on him. He was staring down the abyss that he stood against a master of silence, a man who had perfected the art of erasing foes from existence. Michael's team waited, tense and ready, outside the hotel. In the room, hidden cameras recorded every heartbeat of Santiago's terror. Across the city, federal agents ready to arrest warrants, fueled by the damning evidence Leonardo had laid bare. The trap snapped shut, sealing fate. The final act arrived, justice. Chapter 7. No Mercy. At dawn, the FBI stormed the Riverside Hotel, just 6 hours after Santiago's haunting confession. Federal agents burst into the building, seizing Santiago and Rosalind just in time to prevent their escape and the destruction of crucial evidence. Yet, their capture was merely the first step in Leonardo's final play. From his command center, Leonardo observed the arrests, a chilling satisfaction coursing through him. Santiago struggled against the handcuffs, his screams piercing the air as he demanded his rights and a lawyer. Rosalind crumpled, sobbing uncontrollably, pleading for one final glimpse of Nathan. Leonardo had foreseen and orchestrated both reactions perfectly. Phase 3 is done, he announced to his team. Key targets held by federal authorities. Secondary targets primed for action. Antonio Ramirez and her family were captured in mere hours. Carmen's child abuse charges deepened as investigators uncovered his ties to Santiago's trafficking ring. Leticia's apartment search uncovered damning evidence, linking her to a web of federal crimes. Leonardo's vengeance was only just beginning. As the legal system dealt with his foes, Leonardo unleashed his own brand of justice. The footage from Nathan's birthday party was leaked to every major news outlet, exposing Santiago's trafficking network and the corruption shielding it. Public outrage erupted fiercely. In just a day, #JusticeForNathan exploded online, millions igniting a firestorm of outrage over deep-rooted abuse and corruption. Death threats flooded in, endangering all involved and compelling their swift placement in protective custody. The most crushing moment arrived when Leonardo unveiled the hotel room recording of Santiago, revealing his chilling conversation about Nathan's murder. "The kid's a thread that must be snipped forever." The words echoed through every news channel, every podcast, every social media platform. Santiago's offhand remarks about killing a 6-year-old shattered any chance for public empathy or leniency. Leonardo observed the chaos unfold from his home office. Nathan lies peacefully asleep upstairs, guarded by a vigilant security team. His son was safe now, shielded from the monsters that once threatened to tear him apart. Leonardo had more to reveal. Deep within the shadows, a corruption network shielded Santiago. Leonardo held damning evidence against a web of officials, judges, and social workers. One by one, he unveiled their secrets, shattering careers and igniting investigations that would haunt them for years. Judge Samuel Grayson, ensnared in a web of deceit, was arrested for accepting bribes to aid Santiago's custody schemes. Evan Cross, who placed children with approved trafficking families, was discovered dead in his cell, an apparent suicide that raised no suspicions. Detective Marcus Weller, once shrouded in secrets of missing children, vanished without a trace. He vanished without a trace, yet his hidden wealth vanished too, funneled into the hands of those who protect the innocent. Every elimination was precise, expertly executed, and utterly unlinked to Leonardo. His military training and intelligence background turned him into a phantom, hitting hard and disappearing into the shadows. Yet, his greatest creation was meant solely for Rosalind. Chapter 8: Rosalind's federal trial captivated the nation, with Leonardo by Nathan's side at every gripping session at T7. The boy bore the weight of months in therapy, haunted by the trauma of his birthday, the sting of humiliation, and the shattering truth of his mother's betrayal. Leonardo had primed Nathan for this moment, revealing that some people make terrible choices and must confront the fallout. The child realized his mother's intent to harm and felt his father's fierce protection sealing the past away as Rosalind faced the court. Nathan sat in the gallery, his best suit pressed, gripping his father's hand with a silent strength. As Rosalind locked eyes with him in the courtroom, her composure shattered. "Nathan, baby, I'm so sorry," she cried from the witness stand. "This was never my intention. I adore you beyond words." Nathan's innocent eyes met his mother's, and he uttered words that would echo in Rosalind's mind forever. "You forced me to eat from a bowl like a dog on my birthday. That's not love. It's a facade." The courtroom hushed, a child's truth slicing through the tangled web of legal games and emotional deceit. Rosalind stood silent, stripped bare by the raw truth of her victim's words. The prosecution, wielding Leonardo's evidence, unveiled a harrowing tale of relentless child abuse, trafficking, and conspiracy. demanding justice without compassion. The defense claimed Rosalind was a pawn of Santiago, but the hotel recordings shattered that illusion, revealing her eager role in plotting Nathan's demise. They decided quickly, a single voice echoing, guilty on every charge. Santiago's trial was a mere whisper, yet it echoed with intensity. Confronted by damning proof and a furious public, his lawyer struck a deal. Life behind bars without parole, trading his silence for the chance to bring down the rest of the trafficking ring. Yet, Leonardo held one last shock for Santiago. As Santiago was being taken to federal prison, chaos erupted when masked attackers ambushed the transport van. Santiago's death was swift and brutal, a chilling reminder of the merciless cycle of vengeance that awaited those who preyed on the innocent within the prison walls. The probe into his demise led to a dead end. Security cameras failed, witnesses vanished, and the assailants remained unknown. Leonardo's alibi held firm. Unyielding, he stood in court with Nathan, under the gaze of countless witnesses. Antonio Ramirez succumbed to a heart attack, the weight of federal charges and the crumbling of his disability fraud scheme proving too much to bear. Letitia faced 20 years in federal prison, each day a bitter reminder of the dog food's taste and the shame of her actions against an innocent child. The corruption web shielding Santiago crumbled, leading to 50 arrests and a total overhaul of the city's child services. New safeguards emerged to combat trafficking, while Leonardo discreetly supported organizations devoted to shielding vulnerable children. Chapter 9. Fresh start. 2 years after Nathan's 7th birthday, Leonardo and his son found themselves in a new city, cloaked in new identities. They found refuge in the Federal Witness Protection Program after Leonardo dismantled Santiago's empire, but that was merely the facade. Leonardo's freedom came at a cost. He had methodically removed every threat to his son. With military prowess, a sharp mind, and boundless resources, he became an unyielding beacon of justice in a world abandoned by the system. Nathan, at 9, had forgotten the taste of food from a dog bowl. Through relentless therapy and unwavering love, he emerged from the shadows of trauma, blossoming into a confident, joyful child who placed his complete trust in his father. In a cozy house by the mountains, Nathan rode his bike and played with friends, free from worry. Leonardo launched a security consulting firm, dedicated to shielding families from threats and deceit. In the stillness of the night, as Nathan slept, Leonardo found himself alone, haunted by the weight of his choices. Leonardo once would have been haunted by the lives lost, the wreckage left behind, the revenge he meticulously planned. The new Leonardo was consumed by satisfaction. Each individual involved in his son's torment had faced their reckoning. All members of the trafficking network were either dead or behind bars. Every corrupt official who shielded child predators was either gone or about to pay the price. Nathan was safe. That was all that mattered. Not only safe in body, but wrapped in the unwavering assurance that his father would shield him from harm forever. On Nathan's 9th birthday, Leonardo finally gave him the party of his dreams. 20 children gathered, laughter mingling with the warmth of their parents and siblings, a moment bursting with joy. Cake and ice cream, games and laughter, presents and pure joy filled the air. Leonardo watched as Nathan blew out the candles, his wish whispered into the air. The boy's eyes sparkled as they met his father's gaze. "What was your wish, my friend?" Leonardo inquired. "I want you to always be my dad," Nathan said, his voice steady. "And I wish bad people would always fear you." Leonardo's smile widened as he playfully ruffled his son's hair, a moment of pure connection. Both wishes will undoubtedly become reality. That night, as the guests departed and Nathan drifted into sleep, Leonardo's secure phone buzzed with an encrypted message. It came from Reed Dalton, now on a federal task force fighting to take down child trafficking rings. "Urgent mission, your skills are crucial. A global web, elite safeguards, countless vanished children." Intrigued, Leonardo studied the message, then shifted his gaze to Nathan's bedroom, where his son lay in serene slumber. Children cried for protection. Predators lurked in the shadows, and corrupt officials believed they were above the law. He replied with just one word: details. Gabriel Hunter discovered the one truth that would change everything. When the system betrays innocent children, A father with nothing left to lose rises, fueled by a fierce determination to reclaim justice. He had an extraordinary talent for making everything right again. The battle for children's safety rages on. Now it had a soldier relentless in battle, merciless to predators, and unforgiving to those who harmed the innocent. The boy who once feasted on birthday cake from a dog bowl now lay secure, shielded by a man transformed into a threat beyond his foe's wildest fears. A father wielding boundless power, unmatched expertise, and an unyielding wrath for anyone who dares to endanger his child. Justice was finally delivered. It was sweeter than any birthday cake. This is the moment our tale concludes. We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts below. Grateful for your time. If this story resonates with you, consider subscribing to this channel. Tap the video on your screen. I'll be waiting for you.